Hey there, in today's video, I'm going to break down the steps to start a nutrition coaching side hustle. I'm going to break that all down. I know so many of you want to get this stuff started. You want to add it to your personal training business. You want to do it on the side, but you're not sure the exact steps to get started. So we'll detail some of those, as well as happy to do an Ask Me Anything as well. If you're popping on, watching the video, tuning in, ask me a question, say hi, do anything like that. And, will interact. The one thing that's been, super meaningful for me is the community we've built up here with the Nutrition Coaching Academy. So many familiar faces, people interacting with, the channel, but also different guides and social media and our email-based stuff. It's been really cool to see, to give you some sense of how things are growing. Like we're almost up to 12,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel with a very engaged community. I think probably nearly half that on our email list, and you guys interact on email, and we've taken 510 students through the Nutrition Coaching Academy now, and we interact with them on an almost daily basis in terms of live seminars, action steps, our self-guided course, and all that stuff. So it's just been really fun watching things grow. So I wanted to say thank you. And hopefully I can give that back a little bit here and point you in the right direction today. So if you're tuning into the video, use that chat function and let me know, say hello, tune in, and we'll go ahead, as well as a couple of other things maybe important to highlight here coming up. We have a webinar on Tuesday. So many of you probably thinking, hey, I want to start nutrition coaching and get on social media. I know that's the future of everything and where we need to take things in terms of using social media to get clients, but you have no clue how to start. Maybe you don't want to be a social media influencer as well. I want to show you exactly what you need to be doing to get paying clients on social media. Got a webinar here coming up on Tuesday. You can sign up for that at the link right there. I've just dropped it in the chat and it's up there on the screen as well. Only 30 spots available for that. So grab a seat so we can do some interactive questions as well. It's nice on Zoom that I can actually see faces and stuff. Live here on YouTube, can't do the exact same thing. But also if you're tuning in, you got some questions on that, fill me in. Would be the biggest thing. What I've learned over the last 15 years nutrition coaching is that, number one, if you want to get into nutrition coaching, you're probably super passionate about this stuff. You're like the health and fitness person in your social circle. Maybe it's impacted your life. Maybe it's made a huge difference and people are asking you these type of things, and you really want to educate them and give back and show them the right way. Make sure they're doing the right things. Make sure they're doing things sustainably, all that type of stuff. It's really, really common. The downfall of that is that people never really know, like what they're focused on is that like they're not as interested in that stuff as you are. They're really focused on results, and they want that more than anything. And if you focus on stuff that they need and not that they want, it makes it really hard for them to take that next step. They don't see what's in it for them. So if we really want to get this stuff going, I know marketing and sales and that type of stuff are probably words that you feel and have like a visceral reaction when you hear them. But those are the type of things that we need to start with and focus on. Of course, you need the knowledge and how to coach others, but you probably have some sense of what you do to begin with. But you need the systems and you need a business approach to really get this stuff going. And you need, again, what I've learned from others is that you need to have kind of two things going on at the same time. You need some short-term wins. This is just like weight loss, really. You need some short-term wins to get some people in your system and working with them to build up some experience, maybe get your first paying client so that you stay bought in, you can prioritize it. Because if you just said, I'm going to start nutrition coaching and work with people for free for an entire year and see maybe they get results, and that'll be beneficial. But if you don't really see what's in it for you, you probably won't continue on. So you need to get the people in your social circle doing this type of stuff right off the bat and as soon as possible. And there's so many ways of doing that, both online and offline. Do like offline, like you can do lunch and learns. You could do little like presentations. You could start working with the people that talk to you in the gym, talk to you at the break room, at work, those type of things like that. Those are the things that you should be focusing on at the beginning, not going all in and quitting your job and trying to do this stuff full time, because you don't need to at the beginning. You want to get some experience. You want to get your feet wet. You want to get this stuff going before you go all in. Like, it's got to make sense. I think people probably see me and think Dr. Mark's always worked for himself. He's an entrepreneur, risk taker, all those things. I'm like one of the most risk adverse people you'll ever meet. Like, change is really hard for me. I need to know things are going to work before they do. The only reason I've gotten to the place that I am is that it's like all been like stepwise and sequential. Now, with that being said, my biggest improvements always come when I take bold action and invest in myself. But things got to like make sense before you do them, right? Like, you can't just quit a full-time job to open a yoga studio because you're passionate about it. Like, that's not what you should do. What you should do is, if you're passionate about this stuff, keep your full-time thing, the 9 to 5, and then from 5 to 9, or even 7 to 10, 8 to 10, after your kids go to bed, you should work on the thing that's going to help fulfill your long-term vision and get things going. Like, that's what you should do. And if you have limited time to do that, I wouldn't overlook. Everyone thinks, hey, I don't have enough time. I'm not going to invest in a program or someone with a step-by-step process to get this stuff going. That's exactly what you should be doing. If you have limited time, it means you have no time to waste. And if you want to be successful at that stuff, you need to make the most of the time that you do have. So putting some energy into that. But a lot of your energy should be reserved to getting people that are already in your social circle interested in taking this next step. Everyone puts the cart before the horse, which is they focus on, especially as I get this stuff going, they focus on the nice to know and the nice to do, not the need to know or the need to do. And what that looks like is, you want like a perfect website before you get started, so it'll look super professional. You want to know everything you could about nutrition. You want the perfect coaching system. You're going to research a bunch of different coaching softwares and all that type of stuff. That's just the wrong approach. You need to get people interested in first and expressing interest that they would work with you. And you can typically do that by some educational stuff, but generally getting them raising their hands that they have a result that you could help them do. If you want to lose 20 pounds before Christmas, I'm taking on 3 nutrition clients. Let me show you how this works. Like, those type of things, often enough that people are raising their hand that they have a problem that you can help them solve, and going down that path of coaching them. And what that would look like is really similar, like our simple coaching system. It doesn't need to be overly complicated. It literally needs to be like, fill me in on some information that you want to work with me. What are you trying to accomplish? What have you tried in the past? How willing are you to change? And then from there, doing a small assessment on where they are. We like to do an objective-based approach where we get them tracking, take a look at what they're currently doing, then use the free nutrition report. That's what we do in the Nutrition Coaching Academy, is like starting to show them what's holding them back from reaching their goals, which, again, most of these people have never been coached before. They don't know the difference between what you're doing as a coach and how individualized it is and how powerful it is, and how like you have the exact path to results for them on an individual level. They'd never experienced anything like that. So when you start to do those things for them on an individual level, they'll start to see that, hey, this coaching stuff it's powerful. It's helping me exactly what I need to see. It's not giving me everything I need. It's only giving me what I need right now to get clarity around what's going to matter the most. And that's what like a lot of people don't do. There's a bug right there. Sorry, guys. They don't focus on, did you even see me flick it off? Maybe you did. They see all the things that they could do and not the things that are most important to do. They've probably been searching and trying so many different things and overlooking the stuff that matters the most, or at least not doing the stuff that matters the most consistently enough. And that's your job as a coach. Hopefully that takes some of the overwhelming nature of this stuff away for you, is that instead of thinking about everything that I could give to someone, again, we think about like all of our knowledge. We think, I'm going to start working with this person, I want to give them everything. No, you want to give them just what they need to start to get results, and they'll learn through that process. Where a lot of coaches go wrong at the beginning is that they're not prescriptive enough. They're not simple enough. They give their clients a bunch of different options and things that they could do that could work, when in reality, they're coming to you for the answer. And I know that feels like, hey, maybe I'm not setting them up for success long term, but they will see success as they apply these things and learn what works best for them through action. So this is what we got started. We got to get people raising their hand. We got to get them showing them the power of coaching. And then we got to take them through a simple process where we set them up with a weekly check-in where they submit information and we respond to it on our own time between that 8 to 10 p.m. when we have an extra additional few hours. There's no reason why you can't juggle all these things and put it and go ahead with it. I mean, as a busy entrepreneur and father and husband, I work, a couple hours at night per week to keep things going. Not every night, but some nights for sure. Writing emails, writing more than one email to you guys per day. Maybe I'm a maniac. I don't know. But that's what you should be spending your time on. Get this stuff going. Don't spend so much time and energy on what could work in perfecting things that you don't take people through the actual process where you learn what they actually need and how they see you and how they should interact. That's where I spend a lot of my time and energy to get this stuff going. You guys got any specific questions about this and where you're coming from? I see quite a handful of you on the live, which is amazing. Yeah, awesome, Emily. Thanks for tuning in. I sent an email about it, but maybe you just saw the notification. But thanks for tuning in. Emily, I think I follow you on Instagram as well, but I'm not sure. I know you're Emily Ann Gardening here, but do you post any gardening content? Do I see enough of it? I think we need to see more of it, would be the biggest thing. Because it's probably something unique about you that others that are also into gardening stuff would like to go down this path with you. But thanks for tuning in. What other questions you guys got? Didn't show Emily a little love there too, putting her up on the screen. That's Emily. Emily's been a big supporter of the channel, I would say the last 4 years. Always coming to lives and that type of stuff. I kind of slowed down, feeling discouraged. I hear you. I think this process has a lot of ebbs and flows. Like it's never firing all cylinders. And if you're not getting some of the payoffs of it, it can be tough to stick with it. But I will tell you this. Those who end up seeing long-term success, those who win, they just persist and they keep doing it, would be the biggest thing. Chris says, the simple approach works. I just created a mini lesson for a client. She loves it. Amazing. What did you focus on? Fill me in a little bit more, Chris. And it sounds like, is this a nutrition client specifically, or is this a training client that you're starting to address some nutrition stuff with? Fill me in on that front. But glad you're resonating with the simple approach as well. It's the most important thing. It's like coaching is about clarity. It's not about everything that you could give them. And that's why there's pros and cons with all of this stuff. Obviously, I'm a huge proponent of the objective side of nutrition, where people get results when they start to manage the total amount of food that they're eating and where that food is coming from in terms of the macronutrients. And there's so many different ways of going about that, but educating them with and getting them to stick to an objective approach where they're tracking towards targets is great. The flip side is they just followed a meal plan. In the really, real short term, they could see some results because it's easier to stick to. And there's pros and cons of all of that. Obviously, in the long term, they don't ever know why things are working, right? There's not the edge. They think, hey, I lost some weight because I followed the meal plan, not because the meal plan may or may not have put me in a calorie deficit for the necessary amount of time it took to get leaner and that type of stuff. So there's trade-offs with all of this stuff. But when you can really get people to focus on a system that focuses on the things that matter the most and do it consistently enough through time, that's the sweet spot right there. But Chris says, this is a nutrition and fitness client. It was a breakdown of meal prep containers. It talked about sizes of different types. Amazing. It's like, hey, if I can get my clients to prepare more of their own food and through the size of the portions that they're eating, they control for their overall food intake, they're going to get results as well as it's actionable, right? That's a great thing. Taking it a step further, what a lot of us don't do is that, like, when we think about now marketing our businesses, we think about like creating brand new content. But I'd even just get online and say, hey, I just created a new mini training for a client on the importance of like meal prep and the containers that you should use. She loved it. Would you want to see it? Send me a message and I'll pass it along to you. There's no reason why you can't pass that stuff along. Even if you the lesson was a video and you addressed it to Brenda, just like double check with Brenda and that kind of stuff. And then pass it along. That's how I take it a step further, is like doubling down on the stuff that you're already doing. Jen says, slow and steady wins the race in business and weight loss. Oh man, I wish it wasn't this way. I get that you need some wins to keep engaged. Things need to feel like they're working, without a doubt. But at the end of the day, persistence is the most important thing, is like continuing to do it and sticking with it. And I know, Jen, you'd be a great example for that. Jen's she's getting some stuff going on her YouTube channel, I hope. So if you guys as a community want to go over to her page, check out what she's up to, at least follow along. Jen's a student in our program, crushing it on social media, but we're going to get some YouTube stuff going. I know she wants to do it, so go check out her page. Hope I didn't just put you on the spot there, Jen. Probably did, though. Nice to see so many familiar faces in the chat here today. Is there anything else right now, gang? Yes. Keep tuned. Best way to do that is subscribe to your channel and follow along. And maybe find ways to, you know what the craziest thing about, especially on my side with YouTube, the reason why I keep up with it is, number one, the team holds me accountable for sure. But also, I just know I got to show up for you guys in more videos. So when you have that kind of stuff, like you feel like you need to do it for others, it makes it much easier to do it. So show Jen some love there. Outside of that, gang, that's what I would focus on to start a nutrition coaching side hustle in 2025. If you haven't yet registered for our webinar coming up next week, I would encourage you to do so. Here is the link. Put that back up on the screen. Go sign up for that and we'll go from there. And if you have any other questions, drop them on this video here and I'll get back to them a little bit later today. But we'll leave that there for now. Let me know if there's anything else. And thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye. Now, as great as all those tips are, maybe you're still wondering how to start or grow your nutrition coaching. Here's what I want you to do. Go to the first link down in the description below, and you'll get all the details on our Nutrition Coaching Academy certification. It's a 90-day program that'll give you everything you need to start nutrition coaching or to take your nutrition coaching business to the next level. Check out all the details down in the link below, and thanks for watching.